Hello viewers, Namaskar, this is Dr. Hemant. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's topic will be solar eclipse 21st June 2020 forecast for various ascendants and Rashis. In my earlier video, I was mentioning that eclipse, solar or lunar eclipse, indicates changing circumstances. One has to have a state of mind which will be prepared to face it and turn a changing circumstances which looks like a crisis into an opportunity. Because in the crisis are hidden the seeds of opportunity. So I would firstly say that one should not be really too much worried about eclipse, rather wait eagerly to see some internal changes which we can really apply and bring about a positive change for ourselves. Before predicting each ascendant, I would like to mention that one has to keep 3 to 4 things in their mind when an eclipse is arriving. The first thing I would like to tell you is the eclipse is nothing but a cosmic push where we are compelled to change our old patterns, old thinkings, old approach. We are forced to change them. Secondly, it is a time for us to review our preferences. What is our preferences? At this particular age, should we prefer more to work and give less time to the family, or give more time to the family and less time to the work? Things like that. So what is your area of preferences? Then also it will ask you to understand your priorities and then refocus on your goals. So this is a very, very important aspect one has to keep in their mind regarding any eclipse. They have to think about how to change the old patterns, how to review your preferences, understand priorities and refocus on your goals. This is the first thing. Secondly, there are events of life. For example, from school days to college days, or from childhood to adulthood, from being unmarried to married, from getting married to children, to having children, and these are all the life-changing events. So that type of life-changing events have to be viewed from the ascendant. This is the second important thing. And there are some issues that in these various stages of life, like marriage or adulthood or childhood, some events proper as a temporary phenomena. For example, a temporary problem for 1 year, 2 years. So such problems have to be viewed from the Rashi. So both the ascendant as well as Rashi predictions are very important. So I would welcome all of you to be very careful and listen to me the predictions of both ascendant as well as Rashi. This is the second point. The third point, important point I would like to tell you is whenever there is an eclipse, usually it involves 2 houses where the Rahu and Ketu are placed. The Rahu and Ketu are placed 7 places apart. Suppose at present Rahu is in Gemini, so naturally the Ketu has to be in Sagittarius. So these two, Rahu and Ketu, will be in this axis for almost 18 months to 24 months. So the Rahu and Ketu had come to this axis maybe in 2018. So till 2020-21 beginning, the Rahu and Ketu are going to stay here in this axis. So we have to look out at these 2 houses. What do they represent in your horoscope, in your natal chart? Does it represent your 3rd house from your ascendant, or 2nd house from your Rashi, or 7th house from your ascendant, or 4th house from your Rashi? We have to find out what these 2 houses, that is Gemini and Sagittarius, indicate in your natal chart. That is a chart when you are born. That chart is called as natal chart. And those are the areas where you can expect changes, and you should focus on how to change as I told you, how to clear your old patterns, review your preferences and understand priorities and refocus on your goals in those particular areas. Okay, this is very, very important. So whenever there is eclipse, 18 to 24 months, the eclipse keeps on happening, solar and lunar eclipse in this particular axis for 18 to 24 months. So usually in the beginning of this 18 to 24 months, there are issues which will get initiated initially. That is in 2018, let us consider some issues like marriage. You may fall in love, you may like someone, it may initiate in 2018. By 2020, it gets into fruitfulness or it gives a result. So usually that's how it happens. So this is the second important point you have to keep in your mind. Also, we have to see if there are planets involved when you are seeing or when you are reading the effect of the eclipse on your personal life. So we have to see if the eclipse involves a particular planet. Suppose it involves Mercury, then it indicates the communication and things like that. How the solar eclipse of 21st June, it's involving Mercury as well as Venus. Venus indicates again women and women needs and entertainment industry, the sports and famous people and things like that. Mercury indicates travel, communication, etc. So these areas also we should expect some changes that to happen. Inevitably, usually in an eclipse, the sun and moon are involved. So sun represents higher authority, your name and fame, and your promotion, things like that. The moon indicates your emotional needs. So these two planets and these two aspects of your life, indeed, there will be some effect. There's no doubt about that. So keep in your mind, always during eclipse, the sun and moon are 100% they are affected. If there are other planets like Mercury and Venus, please keep in your mind those areas. Like Venus can indicate your marriage also. So something related to your marriage also can prop up. Something related to relationship can prop up. Okay. So keep these things in your mind and then you try to interpret the eclipse. Okay. So keeping these 3 points, that is one, thinking about the clearing your old patterns. Secondly, thinking about how there is cyclic period of the eclipse, how it stays for 18 to 24 months in particular axis, how the planets are involved and how the houses from your ascendants are involved. So let us begin now the prediction for Aries and Libra ascendant, or Aries and Libra Rashi, that is Mesha Rashi and Tula Rashi. So for these people it is going to involve, as the solar eclipse of 21st June is going to involve the third house and the ninth house. So what does the third house indicate? The third house indicates communication, transportation, schooling, mobility, neighbors, siblings, daily routine that can change dramatically, publishing offers, travel and education. This is the third house indication. So for the Aries and Libra ascendants, because the Gemini and Sagittarius is third and the ninth axis, you can expect the changes in the third house, that is of communication, transport, schooling, etc. like what I mentioned. Also, there could be changes of the ninth house. Personal belief is tested, justice, your adventure for learning and important beginnings of education. You may reach a wider understanding in these particular areas and even justice also. So this is how you have to see for the ascendant or Rashi of Mesha, Aries and Libra, or Tula Rashi and Mesha Rashi. It involves the third and ninth house. So issues of third and ninth will prop up, or they have already started in 2018. Now they are going to take a particular shape and they are going to be fruitful. Initiation has already happened. Now they are going to be fruitful now. Even if it is a negative also, now it's a time for a solution. Like we had COVID during this phase. After the eclipse, the COVID is going to reduce because the healing phase will start from June till the next year beginning. So that's for sure. There's no doubt about that. Similarly, for Taurus and Scorpio ascendant, it is the second and eighth house. What does the second and eighth house indicate? Second house indicate cosmic push for change in finance, power, issues, what is yours and what is mine in financial issues, new and old, etc. is the second house indication. And the eighth house, the spouse income, taxes, debts, then setting debts, new money coming, your comfort to be balanced with the others' comforts. So these are the indications of the eighth house. So the second and eighth house, the houses of change for the Taurus and Scorpio ascendant or Rashi is indicated during this eclipse, which is a solar eclipse on 21st June. Now we have the third sign, that is Gemini and Sagittarius, where the eclipse is happening. So for them it is the first and seventh house. So what does the first and seventh house indicate? The first house indicates the image change, redefine your personality, balance between the autonomy and dependence. Whether you have to depend on others or you should start now because you are grown up, you should have an independent living, or you want to keep on depending on someone, or you want to have a makeover of your personality and things like that indicate the first house. So change in your personality, change in your behavior, change in your looks, etc. like that. Then the seventh house indicates your partnership. The partnership will be tested, your relationship with your wife and with your clients will be tested. It's a time to compromise and negotiate with them. You need to balance your relationship and you can expect more opportunities and more clients. Okay, so for the Gemini and Sagittarius, it's the first and 7th house. Similarly, for Cancer and Capricorn ascendant, it is the 12th and 6th house. Now let us see what the 12th house indicates. 12th house indicates rest, spiritual renewal. Your busy schedule at work needs to be balanced with the other priorities. Exposure of some secrets can emerge, or desire to do something private, secret can come to your mind. So these are all the 12th house indication. That hospitalization also is a 12th house indication. Spiritual awakening as 12th house indication. All these issues may prop up for this Cancer and the Capricorn ascendant people, or Cancer and Capricorn Rashi. And also the 6th house indicates changes in job, and the notice period for that, the improving your work conditions, a new project in your job may begin, and issues of your personal health and disease can prop up. So it is calling attention regarding your health, regarding your job, regarding your enlightenment, spirituality, and things like that for Capricorn and Karka ascendant, or Capricorn and the Cancer Rashi. So these are the 6th and 12th house will be the priority during the eclipse. This is very important. Then we are having the Leo and Aquarius ascendant, or Leo and Aquarius Rashi. For them it is the 5th and 11th house. 5th house indicates romance affairs, larger goals, eclipsing the pleasures, children needs, childbirth, and things like that. So these issues will be the center of focus during this eclipse. Probably the fruitful period is coming nearer, because these issues are already started in 2018. They are going to take a final form now in 2020 and beginning of 2021. And 11th house indicates the friendship may be tested, a relationship to and the group or organization can be tested, looking for validation from a group or your friends, creative projects, and things like that. The issues of the 11th house and 5th house may prop up for this Leo and Aquarius ascendant. And finally, for Virgo and Pisces ascendant, it is going to be the 4th and 10th house. So what does the 4th and 10th house for Virgo and Pisces ascendant or Rashi? It's for both we have to see. So for the 4th house indicates domestic issues, house repairs, family drama, personal life. We have to strike the balance between energy and work and the domestic affair. This is very important. Though it indicates the mother, it indicates vehicle, domestic affairs, still it is because it's having relationship with the 7th house. So 7th house issues also may come up when the 4th house is involved. And the 10th house will be the review of change in your career goals. Also the 7th from the 4th. So personal, it is 7th from the 4th. That is the 10th house. So personal family matters also may come up during these issues. So mainly 10th house is regarding your profession. So viewers, as I was mentioning initially, I read out few of the so that I should not miss, because I have these things in my mind, but I don't want to miss certain important points. That's why I have taken all these things into consideration. So whether it is an ascendant or a Rashi, both you have to see. As I told you, the ascendant tells about life-changing events, whereas the Rashi tells about the new issues prop up during the life-changing events. So we have to see both the things. If there is a temporary issue which has started 1 or 2 years back, okay, you can see it from the Rashi. If there is something that you have not got married for 4 or 5 years, and this is a time that the fruitfulness or marriage can take place, because it's the life that you have to see from the ascendant. So my viewers, I hope that this knowledge about the eclipse will give you or will help you to be in the state of preparedness and expect some changes, and that particular house which is concerned to your ascendant and Rashi, and face it very positively and be very brave and be happy that you are having an ascendant, because ascendant comes only to educate us and help us. It is not going to trouble us. It's how you take up, is how the results are seen. So as I was telling in the last video, the mind is wonderful, and it is having a power of converting the hell into a heaven and heaven into a hell. So how you feed your mind positively and how you see the events positively, like that the things will happen to you. So I wish you all that you take the eclipse very positively and face it very bravely and get a needed result, and stay happy and stay blessed. I hope you like the video. If you like it, please don't forget to press my like button, and if you are fresh to my YouTube channel, kindly don't forget to subscribe my channel. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Namaste.